Boy, the last two of those are pretty gory, huh? Alright, let's slow things down and head back to a simpler time, like the 1950s, and a more relaxing place, like, Polynesia. Yeah, the South Sea Islands, that's the ticket. You know, Polynesia has always held a particularly fascinating and frequently problematic fascination for the West and for the United States in particular. I talk at length about it, but I'm here to show you a monster movie, and besides, Critical Intel already covered it way better than I could, so just go read that. In any case, mainland American fascination for Polynesian culture, or at least a certain dramatically skewed perception thereof, probably peaked in the 1950s and early 60s, a phenomenon that was at least partially a market reaction to American sailors and servicemen stationed in the region during World War II, bringing a taste for the culture home with them, whose mark remains today in the once ubiquitous institution of the Polynesian-style Chinese restaurants. But whatever, an unnamed South Seas island during that charming era of American cultural appropriation is the setting for today's film, which is called... Yeah, one of these. We cold open on somebody in Hollywood's idea of an island tribe carrying out the execution of the tribe's now former prince, wrongly accused of having killed his father, the now former chief. What's the beef about?
My father died from the Black Plague.
The devil dust of your American friends killed our great chief. Killed many of our people.
Tano, you fear the Americans because their medicine is stronger than yours. They come here as our friends to help us.
Why didn't the Americans heal your father? You all know I was his father's best friend.
My father was sick and out of his mind with fever. Tano gave him the poison because you wanted to become the new chief.
Yes, the guys who are for some reason suspicious about Western interlopers into their lands are the bad guys. Boy, you really do forget just how long ago the 50s actually were, huh? Anyway, the prince swears vengeance.
You can kill my body, but my spirit will never die. In death, I will be stronger than you in life.
But they kill him anyway and bury him. That's a pretty dark opening. Even the dude's wife sells him out.
Tell them the truth. That Tana and Moronka gave him the evil medicine that killed him.
What medicine, my husband?
That's cold. With that now in place, let's meet our heroes, which, since this is 1957, means let's meet our white people, a group of American scientists who pretty much just hang around being huge douchebags about stuff.
Islands of romance, islands of beauty. How come they never talk about the malaria and the jungle rot, the fever and the heat, the stupid blind ignorance and those drums?
I'll tell you who poisons their simple minds. It's Tano, their witch doctor. He's afraid of losing his patients to modern medicine. Wants to keep them steeped in their centuries-old superstitions.
Why did I have to fall in love with a dedicated female scientist? She considers marriage some kind of prison.
What do you expect from a pretty girl 2 years out of med college?
Wow. You know, other times you forget how not that long ago the 50s actually were. Yikes. What are they supposedly doing on this island?
You mean they were peaceful enough until they dropped that atom bomb on the Nogassa Atoll?
1,500 miles from here. Who would have thought that a freak typhoon could come from out of nowhere and wreck all calculations?
Well, the facts remain that the atomic fallout landed here, and that we trusty scientists from the International Foundation came running with our little Geiger counters to investigate.
And what did we find? Plague. That's what's killing off the natives. It's not the fallout.
Convoluted! If that was supposed to be funny and not just bending over backwards to make sure this could be about the atomic age and still have these be the unquestioned heroes, it'd be funny. But let's get down to the good stuff. The prince makes good on his "if you strike me down" boast, but all he manages to do is make a ridiculous-looking tree grow out of his grave. The natives think there's something obviously fishy about the tree having the executioner's knife still sticking out of its trunk, but our hero's reaction is, hey, you know what'd be fun? Let's dig it up and inject it with radioactive chemicals.
Look, why keep this freak of nature alive? Your interest in it is morbid.
Bill, it's purely scientific. And if you weren't so concerned with your natives and their silly taboos, you'd be helping us, not standing by doing nothing.
And so the embodiment of tribal vengeance shudders to life as Tabunga. Yeah, that's our monster. Walking Tree Stump. Tabunga was designed by Paul Blasdell, the legendary low-budget monster maker who was also responsible for the She Creature, the Crab Monsters, the Saucer Men, the It That Conquered the World, and the It from Beyond Space. The actual suit in this case was built by Don Post Studios, the guys who more or less invented latex Halloween masks. Like a lot of Blasdell's creations, Tabunga was a really interesting design that just doesn't look good moving around. At all. And that's pretty much why From Hell It Came is infamous. As Tabunga wreaks terrible vengeance on everyone responsible for wronging the prince, we get scene after scene of people trying really hard to look afraid or overpowered by one of the most obviously immobile, unwieldy monsters in movie history. It's especially funny at the climax, once they've sussed out that Tobanga's weak spot might be that giant f***ing knife sticking out of its chest. Clearly, even Stephen Hawking would have no difficulty just rolling up and nudging the damn thing in there, but since we're pretending this thing is supposedly too deadly to approach, they opt to do it with a rifle. Yeah, that looks like it would work. From Hell It Came was not particularly successful upon its release, even by the standards of micro-budget drive-in monster fare. Legend has it one of its early reviews famously quipped, "And to hell it can go." But like so many of its contemporaries, it gained notoriety among younger monster fans thanks to airing as a reliable time filler on late-night TV. Schlocktober will conclude next week. I'm Bob, and that's the big picture.